Hello guys, this is Terry from Genki Gaming, and I'm back with another Pokemon theory. I'm not sure how well people are liking these videos. I'm trying to branch out from the One Piece theories a little bit to give our channel a tiny bit more variety other than One Piece and then gaming videos. The music in the background is from TuneIn's channel called Japan Radio. So you may be hearing their blurb in the background. This is not a sponsored video at all. This video is about the Aether Foundation and their connection with the Ultra Beast. It's kind of a weird theory I thought up since everyone's saying that, well, most theorists and people believe that the Aether Foundation created the Ultra Beast. But basically, the goal of the Aether Foundation and the other region is to care for Pokemon that have been hurt or targeted by Team Skull. Their work facility is on an artificial island called the Aether Paradise, where they shelter these Pokemon and protect them. And as you guys all know, Lusamine is the lovely president of the Aether Foundation. Faba is the branch chief, and Wick is the assistant branch chief. And they all seem to care about the other employees and about all the Pokemon in general. What I'm getting to here with the theory is that a lot of people seem to think that this is too good to be true, that these people are too bittersweetly good. My perspective on this is they want to do a good job. They really feel like the PETA of Pokemon, in my opinion, that they want to make sure no poaching goes on, no stealing of Pokemon, and that Pokemon in general are all comfortable and happy and protected if they're an endangered species. And this brings me to the Ultra Beast. I can't remember what the exact line was that Lusamine said. It's something like this: I want to protect all the Pokemon, even ones who are not from this world or from different worlds. What if the Ultra Beasts are actually dimensional Pokemon that's fleeing or looking for something? Maybe the acts that were done in Kalos, like the war and the firing of the super weapon, maybe they all triggered a spark that brought the Ultra Beast to this world. And as for some people who will probably say, well, the Aether Foundation created them, my perspective here is that what if these Ultra Beasts took on the form of people or of Pokemon or creatures they've seen when they exited the portal for the first time into the other region? What if the first thing UBO2 Beauty came in contact with was Lusamine? And what if because of that allowed Lusamine to want to study and preserve the life of Pokemon? Because what if these close encounters with interdimensional beings has brought out some sort of extra research that the Aether Foundation is doing? What if Lusamine is wanting to look into why these Ultra Beasts are coming here? And what if she wants to care for them and protect them as like an endangered species? Because as we've seen, there's only one of each of them. And I'm kind of excluding the UB2s as individuals since they are technically version exclusives. And with that being said, we're going to take a moment here and I'm going to read to you UBO1's little bio thing. UBO1 is composed of a glass-like substance. Glass-like substance is what we're capitalizing on here, guys. What if the other UBs, the other Ultra Beasts, Beauty and Absorption, are based on similar materials or based on this glass-like substance. What if this is why they're able to alter forms and why they were able to look similar to certain people or take on certain characteristics? But, however, in regard to UB01, it constantly changes shape, never settling on one, while evidence of something like a survival instinct can be found in UB01. No one knows whether it has a will of its own or any emotions. It's said that for some reason its movements resemble a young girl. What if UB01 came in contact with Lily and Lily was the first person UB01 saw? Then that would make a lot of sense that UB01 might want to take on a similar appearance to Lily, because you kind of don't want to stick out if you're a alien or interdimensional creature. And what's a better way of not sticking out? By taking on a form similar to something you see. And with that in mind, UB01 is kind of like a jellyfish in that perspective, where it could have also met a tentacle or a Trillish or a Jellicent at the same time instead of directly meeting Lily. Well, I feel like absorption, since it's based on a mosquito, it could have had a small chance of coming in contact with Gladian, but it's highly unlikely. But going off of my thoughts here about UB02 Beauty, I really have a gut feeling that she came in contact with Lusamine the moment she exited the portal for the first time, or the black hole, or the interdimensional rift. And UB02 is seems like it's loosely based on a cockroach. And I really feel like there's a slim chance that we'll be able to catch these Ultra Beasts. The reason why is that after seeing the recent little mini trailer of both of the UBs fighting Tapu Koko, what would be the best way of pacifying them or restricting them other than trying to catch them in a Pokeball? And you may be asking, why would you think that someone wouldn't have already thought about throwing a Pokeball at them or damaging them enough that they would be weak enough to be caught in a Pokeball? These UBs seem to be immensely powerful, since they're kind of like interdimensional beings or alien Pokemon, essentially, which is why I kind of feel like they were put in the Ultra Beast category, is because they may be a creature similar to Pokemon, but not from the Pokemon world, which would classify them as a different thing entirely. And like I was saying about the events of Kalos and the super weapon being fired and the war that was during AZ's time, what if that was all a catalyst? And what if Lysander's trying to use the ultimate weapon also caused some sort of wave or some sort of occurrence in the timeline or in the interdimensional? I guess it would be an interdimensional timeline as well, which could have drawn the UBs to Alola. I mean, there may actually have been UBs that visited Kalos as well that we're just not exposed to because of how the events of Kalos fanned out here for us for the games. It could also loosely explain why Volcanion, Hoopa, and Diancie were events rather than real encounters in games, or in the games. What if Sun and Moon actually end up interacting with the stories of X and Y, causing some sort of closure to them? At least that's my thought is. I mean, it would be interesting if the UBs were bosses that you couldn't catch, but I just feel like since they're version exclusives, who would buy a different version of a game just to fight a different boss if they both give you the same end result, XP, items, abilities? What would be the point of that in the long scheme of things if it's something that you aren't able to catch or aren't able to utilize in the future? Sure, the UBs are excellent, seem to be excellent story drivers. Same thing goes for Type Null, that it's going to be an excellent story driver as well. Because I do believe that Type Null is an experiment due to its chimera like body parts. But that's something to discuss another day. And I would like to point out that some of my art here for the video, I have a piece from DeviantArt by Lee Hatake 93, which is the Lucamine hugging the Meteor, which I'm pretty stoked for Meteor. I hope the thing is great, because it's definitely going to be a part of my team. But I want to thank you guys so much for listening to the video and watching it. You guys are amazing, awesome viewers. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Have a good morning, an excellent afternoon, and a great evening. I've been Terry with Geeky Gaming. Have a good day now, guys. Bye-bye.